So after 5 long months, Dragons Rising is finally back. And honestly, this time it looks to be maybe our most intense season ever, with surprises lurking in possibly every single episode. If the sets have been one indication of this season, April 17th cannot come any sooner, and we here at the Dork Squad are insanely excited for it. But if you're like me and a lot of us here at the Dork Squad, you probably don't want to wait until April 17th, and you want to know everything that happens, even if it means a little bit of spoilers. Well, don't worry, you might just be in luck. Between the 4 main trailers we have now, and as I mentioned earlier, the newly released January, March, and June sets, there is a lot to discuss for this season, and I cannot wait to dive into it. With a little theorizing, I think we can accurately enough predict the events of what is going to go down in Season 3, Part 1 of Dragons Rising, at least for some of our characters. And maybe, just maybe, figure out who Roz's master really is, and the dark truth behind the merge. Good day, Dork Squad, and welcome to another episode of Garmith Theory, only this time, we're getting it right. I'm not getting it wrong again. But before we get into the intense stuff that's gonna happen, let's set some stakes. You see, I don't want to just make another theory video. Everyone's done that. Boring. Boo. Go watch Game Theory. So, here's the deal. For every prediction I make, we are going to be adding it to a bingo list where, come April 17th, we're going to be, just like we've done with every season, reacting to it live here with you guys. And as the season goes on, the predictions that I get right will be marking it off on the bingo. But what if I don't get a bingo? You see, that's where the fun begins for you guys, at least. Because if I somehow manage to not get a bingo throughout these first 10 episodes, I have to take the 1 chip challenge live on stream immediately after the credits. Yeah, that's right. This video is a part 1 of 2. And okay, if I get it wrong, then I eat the hot chip challenge, and if I get it right, then you hit the subscribe button, which you were gonna do now because you wanted to come back here April 17th to see that stream. Okay, so then what is the catch? What kind of theories can I make? The only rule, no bad theories. So no overlords, no Harumis. Everything here is backed by something we've seen in Dragons Rising Season 1, 2, or the trailers and set. So not a lot to go off of. So let's hope I'm right. Throw away that wolf mask, grab your pies, and let's break down what might just be Ninjago's darkest season yet. So my main theory for this season revolves around Jay's arc specifically, as I think it is the most interesting arc going into Dragons Rising. Yes, I know Zane will probably be the focus character of the arc, but to be honest, he hasn't had a lot of focus in the other seasons of Dragons Rising, so I don't know where his story is going to go other than he'll probably find Pixel, and he'll look like this. Jay's arc in Dragons Rising may be slow, but it's honestly one of my favorites. Even though he's had barely 6 minutes of screen time, the recent news that the future reflections from Possession are still canon has me overly excited for his storyline. There's so much to theorize with those reflections still being canon that I don't even know where to start, and I could go on an entire ramble spree about the next 20 seasons just for Jay's storyline. But let's start with the bad news. Jay is never getting his memory back, not in part 1, and I would argue not ever. Okay, I already hear you typing. But Garmadork, you literally just said the reflections are canon without. Let me explain. You see, Jay's story isn't just Jay's story, especially when it comes to Dragons Rising. No, this is a story between Jay and Nia, and it is a love story. Sure, you can debate on how well written it is, but I would argue that Dragons Rising is flipping the relationship from the previous series in reverse. But if we really want to predict Jay's arc and the overall arc of Season 3 Part 1, we're gonna need to note a couple things. Number 1, like I said, Jay is only half of the story. The other half is, of course, Nia. And second, this at its core is a love story. A tragic one, yeah, but still a love story. and one that is, again, almost guaranteed a happy ending, given the reflections are canon, meaning that something has to happen between Evil Jay and Reflection Jay. So what is going down this season? Based on what we know from the trailers and sets only, no leaks, I think we can split Season 3 Part 1 into 3 main plot points. Number 1 being the Jay and Nia storyline. Number 2 being Roz and Eren going after Jay. And finally, number 3, the other ninja and the Forbidden Five. Now, for full transparency, in my script, I did have these listings for the teams, but I have heard some things that may contradict, so don't take the teams set in stone. It doesn't really matter where, say, Wildfire is. She's not too important to how I see the season playing out, unfortunately. But these teams are mostly based on the sets as well as footage we've seen in these trailers. But hey, if I'm wrong, I'm sure everyone will let me know in the comments on April 17th how stupid I am. But finally, let's get into the story, starting with Jay in Season 3. After being thrown away by Roz in the Season 2 finale, Jay leaves the tournament feeling hurt and betrayed. Maybe the girl from the fight was right, but wait, no. Roz said I can't trust her. He warned me she'd get in my head like this. But something doesn't sit right. Jay realizes something is missing and he thinks back to that strange floating orb he saw when he was on the assignment to receive the tech known as Zane. He remembers how weird his clothes looked, and then the question creeps in, who am I? At this point, Jay is completely lost, and until he finds out who he really is, he is done trusting anybody. Meanwhile, sometime after the events of the Season 2 finale, Lloyd, Frax, Sora, and Ryu start searching for Eren, and this likely leads to the first encounter with the Forbidden Five, where they're trying to get one of the blades. So you can imagine the Forbidden Five, that clip that we've had, probably takes place sometime during Episode 1. And I would assume very, very early on. My fair guess is that sometime between episodes 1 to 3 is when Nia will start to get word of either where Rogue is or where Eren and Roz are, as well as probably figuring out that they are also after Jay, and this is where the real chase to find Jay will begin. I think that's going to be the two big plots of this season. Number 1 is getting to Jay and the Forbidden Five, both kind of colliding in with each other. I have a feeling that at some point Nia and Sora will break off from the team and going to search for Jay, while the others stay back and try and stop the Forbidden Five. So while the chase for the blades and Eren and Jay begins, Roz and Eren are completely unaware of all of that going down, setting off on their own journey to find Jay, but rumors begin to spread of a masked man with lightning powers helping people around the merged lands. A warrior known only as Rogue, hearing that he has lightning powers, it can't be anyone other than Jay. Okay, and it may be a bit of a disappointment for some people. I don't see Roz and Eren coming into contact with the Forbidden Five too much this season. And for some that might be disappointing, but I have a feeling they're just going to be spending a lot of time together. For most of the season, I see Roz pushing Eren and training him, honing in on his raw potential. Dragons Rising Season 2 already made it pretty clear that Lloyd's style of training just doesn't work for Eren. But something about Roz's approach just seems to click with him, given that he mastered Spinjitzu in just a couple days. And I think that is going to be even more apparent in this season. As Roz trains Eren more, he's going to be making bigger and bigger moves, getting stronger and stronger, much stronger than Lloyd ever got him. And as Eren gets stronger and stronger, he'll begin to trust and gain a bond more with Roz, and I believe that's where the manipulation, so to speak, will begin. So while all that is going on with Roz and Eren, the Forbidden Five are making huge moves in the quest for the blades, gaining power and crushing entire cities, as we've seen from what looks to be the Tournament Temple falling and Roby getting decayed, which is why I think Wildfire is going to have more of a prominent role in the Forbidden Five fight than fighting Jay. So now I think it's the appropriate time to talk about Roz's master's plan. When it comes to Roz and Eren, I think there's one key thing to understand. Eren, much like Jay, is feeling lost right now. He's feeling abandoned, betrayed, And like an outcast, everyone sees him as a villain. And he's no longer blindly listening to the ninja, and he's willing to hear other point of views, and this is exactly what Roz wanted all along. Throughout the season, as Roz trains Eren and they continue their hunt for Jay, trust begins to build between Eren and Roz, leading to Eren being more open to his manipulation, mirroring Harumi back in Season 8. The best season of all time. I think Roz will be using the same kind of logic Harumi used in the phenomenal reveal scene. Part the ninja's mistakes and failures, and not just exposing Wu for the merge, but the entire team. The 16 realms were already doomed long before the merge. That the ninja's actions, decisions they made years ago, set everything into motion. Wu knew everything all along, and of course now they want to play the heroes. Throughout the season, I think Eren will throw rebuttals back at Roz, trying to defend the ninja until he just can't anymore. Roz tells Eren when they find Jay, they'll find his parents, and the key to his master, or should he say master's plan, will be revealed.
Time. The thread that holds the fabric of reality together. You cannot see it. You cannot hold it. And yet, it seems you never have enough of it. Control time. Control everything.
He tells Eren that the Time Twins, far from being the monsters history claims they were, only ever wanted to save the 16 realms. That they saw what was coming and tried to stop it, but Wu, blinded by his own arrogance, stood in their way. Roz tells him that it was in fact the ninja, not the Time Twins, who caused an explosion from a device known as the Iron Doom. That it was them who shattered the timeline, creating the very rip in reality that led to the merge. And now, his masters will undo it. Yes, I am calling it now. Roz's masters are the Time Twins. Or at the very least, one of them. Crux, he's kind of old. He might be dead. I'm not gonna lie. Now, I get that is a huge claim, and you want to know what evidence I have. Not a lot. Admittedly, a lot of this is speculation. There is one small blink and you moment miss it in the first episode that might point to this theory being somewhat true. There is a single frame in the episode where you can see the words, control time, control everything. Now, sure, this could be an Easter egg, but I don't know, to me this feels like AOT levels of foreshadowing. This feels like the kind of mind-blowing reveal that we're only going to make sense of once we have the full picture in mind. How does this connect to this? What is Shatterspin? What does any of this have to do with the Time Twins and the merge? That's still yet to be discovered. But my bet is that it does have something to do with the finale of Season 7 and the Time Twins and Wu being lost, messing up the time stream, because who knows what happens when you mess with time. Because, let's be real, we don't know what happened to the Time Twins after the Legacy Short / Season 7. Yes, they could be dead and a completely new Elemental Master has those powers. Or, they could still be out there, plotting their revenge. If they're out there, who knows how powerful they've become, how much they've learned, and how far they're willing to go to get back at the ninja. And if I'm right, well, this changes not just how we look at Dragons Rising, but Ninjago as a whole. Or Roz's master is a Source Dragon, and it was just a cool Easter egg for the fans. That could also happen, but boo, don't do that. Bring back the Time Twins. They need justice. And now real quickly, since we're about halfway through the video, Sam, what should they do?
Hey, this is Sam Vincent, voice of Lloyd Garmadon, the Green Ninja. Give Garmadork on YouTube a sub and check out his channel. Because fun fact, a whopping 89% of you aren't subscribed. But what if it was 90? Hit that subscribe button. So what happens next? As the season progresses, the Forbidden Five get dangerously close to their goal of getting all the blades. They're just 1 or 2 away from freeing Thunderfang, who sounds so cool and looks so cool. I want the set so badly, but I'm poor Lego. Please send it to me.
And I think it's during this intense chase towards the end of the season where Nya runs into the Forbidden Five, and they have this intense scramble that we see in the trailers. And given how much aura the Forbidden Five have, I think it's safe to say that they're not winning this fight. And that is until, admittedly, out of nowhere, Moro sweeps in and Moro's on them. What does that even mean? But here's the thing, obviously Moro has no idea about the importance of these blade thingies, so he just kind of like helps the ninja get away, letting the Forbidden Five leave with one of the swords. And now at this point, they need one more and Thunderfang is free. Yikes. So after Moro rescues them, they catch up briefly, but the ninja need to go stop the Forbidden Five, and Moro's kinda like, alright, see ya, because I need Moro for something later, so I can't have him go with the ninja, or that's what would probably happen, because he did just cost them the blade. So, maybe that's a plot hole. But anyways, don't think about that because we're back with Eren and Roz. And they finally catch up to Jay. I think at this point, Eren will try and appeal to the fact that Jay doesn't know who he is, offering a way to find his memory, offering him the answer, telling him who he was. But if Eren is telling the truth, then that means Roz, who Eren is with, is lying, proving that he shouldn't trust anybody. He suggests that if what he says is true, then he shouldn't trust Roz, as he's been manipulating everyone this entire time, and who knows what he really says is true or not. This is where Eren's patience finally snaps. After all the lies, all the pressure, all the confusion, I think this is where Eren finally lashes out and attacks somebody, getting into a fight with Jay, demanding he shows him where his parents are, gaining the attention of the Forbidden Five, who are in the area on their way to the final blade. I feel like this might be a situation where everything just kind of works out and they all come together at the end. And when the Forbidden Five get there, you can either have them kill Roz and just take Jay, or take both of them, leaving Eren behind, which is where I think this crying frame is from. I think as Eren is trying to track down the Forbidden Five, at some point, somehow, I told you I needed him later, he runs into Moro. He knows who he is. Eren will learn the truth about the ninja. He'll still have his revisions, but he'll learn that they were the good guys back during possession, and most likely during Hands of Time. Eren has his questions, and he wants to find his parents. At this point, honestly, I think Eren's starting to maybe regret being a ninja. If this all came at the cost of his parents, was it worth it in the end? And I think that could be a really interesting topic in part 2 in that aspect. I think, well, eventually the Forbidden Five get the final blade and a huge showdown goes down right near Thunderfang. With Jay captured, he finally gets out and tries to leave, with Nya making an attempt to stop him. Now, I feel like this could even be what comes at the cost of them losing, is Nya trying to stop Jay, lets Thunderfang get free. But in this moment, she doesn't care. She tries to remind him of everything they faced together. Kalmar, Nauticon, all of it couldn't have been for nothing. She can't lose him again. Their brief fight comes to an end after hearing the genuine heartbreak in Nya's voice and thinking about everything that everyone has said to him. Maybe not all of his goodness is shattered, as he stops attacking and asks what the plan is to take down the Forbidden Five, to at least try and win. And I want to make this clear, it is not his memories coming back. And I don't know, I just feel like the line, "I will love you forever, Nya," stuck out to me so much since I saw it. And the idea that Jay and Nya's story is a love story. And I think one of the best ways for Jay's character arc, and for him to truly prove that he does and will always love Nya if he hasn't already, is losing his memories and falling in love with her all over again. Because when he said he will always love her, he will always love her. Now lock in. For the first time since Crystallize, I think we're gonna get to see the original five fight together. Sure, they'll be out of sync and it will result to them losing because Jay isn't the Jay we know, but I think it'll be a fan service moment that we really need at this point in Dragons Rising. Now sure, they might save it until later on, until Jay becomes fully the Jay we know and love, but I wouldn't mind getting it here and a second one. But but I totally understand waiting until Jay is more like the old Jay to give us that big moment where they all scream, "Ninja, go!" or "Ninja never quit," or something cool like that. But as I said, unfortunately, they do lose, and Thunder Fang is set free. And knowing Ninjago's track record with villains reviving older, ancient, more powerful villains being promised great power, it's not gonna end well for them. They get packed up. They gone. Thunder Fang leaves kinda like Smaug at the end of The Hobbit, going after the Source Dragons, announcing that he's going to kill them all. As the dust settles, Eren reveals that the Time Twins might just be behind it all, ending on a major cliffhanger of probably the reveal of the Time Twins. Would be really cool. And, well, that, Dork Squad, is where I roughly see part 1 of Season 3 ending. So what happens next? Well, as promised, it's time to put my words to the test in what will probably be my most painful video/stream ever. April 17th, like I said, we're going to be live reacting to the brand new season of Ninjago, but again, with the bingo that we're going to need to fill out now. So here's what I came up with for my predictions to put them into a bingo form. Number 1, Roz's master is the Time Twins, or Time Twin. I think that's probably my biggest prediction, and one I'm hoping I'm right for. That would be pretty cool. Number 2, Eren versus Jay. Number 3, Pixel and Moro in part 1. I feel like this one's a pretty safe bet, I'm not gonna lie. 4, Forbidden 5 deaths. This one is a little iffy. I really like the Forbidden 5, but again, we know Ninjago's track record. Free space. Duh. Thunder Fang gets free, Moro saves Eren, Jay versus Nia, and OG5 versus the Forbidden 5. Now that's not all, because I want to leave 3 extra spaces for you guys to put in stream. And this could be whatever you guys want to completely try and throw my game, or to help me win and not take the 1-chip challenge. I will probably die. Please, I'm begging you. So comment down below your predictions for Dragons Rising Season 3, and on stream we will vote for the best 3 predictions, add them to the bingo, and start the season. Also, a huge shout out to my fantastic channel members for supporting the channel and videos just like this. If you want to join as a VIP member of the Dork Squad, get access to weekly member-only streams, early videos, and full reactions to Crystallize and Seabound, then hit that join button for only 99 cents Canadian a month. That's like, what, 2 cents American? Pretty good deal. Thank you guys for watching. Don't cry because it's over, but smile because it happened. I will see you April 17th, or in the next video. Peace out.